story tells it. It was only possible because of the connections she had in the other world. That's the world you came from and where you always have help when you need it, when you ask for it. Meghan Markle did not have it easy as she pursued her acting career. She lived frugally and did odd jobs between acting roles. She worked hard and kept a positive attitude as she learned and grew. Then, one day a friend arranged a blind date with her and Prince Harry. Her magical world was now in motion. Cinderella and Deir experienced child abuse from their stepmother, mother, and siblings. Their father let them down. They were treated like servants who had no value in this world. Despite these horrendous conditions, these girls stayed true to themselves. It was helpers from beyond this world who stepped in and transformed their lives. This was only possible because they never gave up on themselves. In an instant, their lives were changed forever. Here are 2 questions for you. Have you been listening for your guidance? Have you been writing it in your journal? Are you ready to upgrade your life despite all the obstacles? Rather than connecting with how this really works in your life, society sends you the message that it's out of reach for you. The attention given to the royal wedding exposed this fault in our society. Every little girl grows up wanting to be a princess, or at least feel like one. This is ingrained in them in their early life by going to princess parties and Disney productions. This reinforces the idea of this lifestyle and what it feels like if only your prince will show up to save you. Providing a home, your castle, a beautiful car, your carriage, beautiful clothes, and all the privileges of a charmed life. It's all reinforced by advertising, gossip, and glamour of celebrities and royal families, things people can't seem to get enough of. Did you recognize the parallels between the Cinderella story and Guided? This connection between these 2 stories is surviving a hopeless childhood with help from beyond this world. Both girls kept this beautiful secret to themselves. Cinderella's fairy godmother and Linda's spirit guides and angels were their only lifeline in this world, guiding them to a better life. A much better life than they could have done on their own. They both overcame the odds because of 2 things. They were able to access their guidance and take action on it while it was still valid. These are not just rags to riches stories. They are stories of what appeared to be hopeless situations. And because of the help they received, they rose above it all to a life of happiness. All possible from help from forces beyond this world. These stories are about moving from a repressive childhood into an unlikely happiness. A total awakening because of this connection. Both endured constant assaults from their mothers and siblings, physical, mental, and emotional abuse. In that repressive situation, they both had no value in this world. The opposite of what the guides and fairy godmother saw in these girls. So what is your idea of a fairy tale life? A better life than you have been able to create on your own. Do you listen to your guidance and act on it so it can become a reality? Cinderella, with her fairy godmother, fast at work on her behalf, never stepped into doubt. That is why she was able to rise above her dismal situation, allowing for the possibilities to present themselves. Neither one of these girls ever accepted their demeaning plight. They always knew they were connecting to something bigger than just this world. Believing in yourself is the key. Only then will you be able to, first, make this connection, and second, take action on this time-sensitive guidance. Once you have this solid connection to us, guidance becomes the fundamental feeling that keeps you connected to us. Pay attention to the guidance coming through. Write it in your journal. This will be the fast track to reconnecting with us now, so you too can live a better life than you could have done on your own. Summary. You can't chase this better life. It comes to you at the perfect time, but you must be open to it. Meghan Markle, Cinderella, and Linda believed in themselves even when life was difficult. That is why they didn't miss it when it did show up. Gratitude is the main ingredient, keeping you in the present moment so you don't miss our guidance. How it works. These magical moments are consistently showing up. They don't just happen to a select few. It happens to everyone. If you are not experiencing them, then you are missing it. You miss it because you are expecting something else. The fix is easy. Breathe. Stop expecting or insisting that it has to be a certain way, a certain thing, or person. Guidance rarely gives you what you expected. Now, in the Q&A box located at the bottom of the page, we will be looking for your questions and comments about what this insight triggers in you. Ray will open the mic so you can talk with us and the guides. Your spirit guides and angels will be answering your questions and comments. All right, Ray.
And I posted all the links you're ever going to need in the chat box.
You did great.
I
Ray.
did.
So you've got everything. Instead of me mentioning all that, we're doing it a little bit more streamlined. So you'll just find them right there, whatever you want to click on. And Ray did a beautiful job.
Over on the right-hand side, you'll see all the links that we put up every week.
And what this session is about at the very top. All right.
Now, for you folks who are out there on Facebook wondering where we are and why you can't interact with us, just
look for the link.
Look for the link
above the video.
Above the video and above the little Zoom insignia, and it'll have a link in there where you can join us.
Click on it. It'll take you straight to Zoom. Sign in, and you can join us. All right.
You can talk. We can see you.
Right. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about what we do every week here Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
So let's see who we have.
All right.
Jane.
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 She's the first one.
Jane was the first one here.
Jane, you're the first one.
Joy Howard.
Joy, you're number 2 here.
Judy P. Judy, you might be new. Welcome.
Judy sounds new. Hi,
and
Judy.
Veronica Baca.
Veronica. We love all you guys. Thank you for coming.
So there we go. We're getting some activity in that Q&A box. Let's see if this works. See if those guys in the control room can get this to work right. Jane said hi. Joy said hi. Jane said, so glad to be here. What do my guides want me to know right now?
Now, who said this?
Jane.
Jane. Okay, Jane. What it's going to relate to is the theme for today, you know? And I'm pretty sure Jane gets Linda's weekly guided insights, so she knows what this is about and heard me read it, right? From now on, I'm going to read the insights on these sessions. I used to just read an excerpt from the insight, and I don't think a lot of people connected with that. So, yeah, Oh, Jane. Oh, my
There's
God.
Jane.
Hi.
Oh, my God. Hi,
Hello.
Jane.
Can you
I'm a real person, and I'm not a robot on the computer.
That's
This
right.
this is pretty neat. I like this. This is
Isn't this
cool.
fun?
This is fun.
So when you're talking, you're going to see a little yellow box around you.
Uh-huh.
See that?
It just knows who's talking. How does it do that?
It's brilliant. I really like this platform. This is cool.
This is great. Is that the highest your volume will go, Ray?
No, I can get it up.
Get it up higher because I can't hear her.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and talk, Jane.
Well, first, thank you for having me. This is really cool. This is awesome.
We love
And I love seeing you guys, and I like to be here as often as possible.
Oh,
And it's going to be great to see the others on here also and interact live with you. I do like the theme today. You also mentioned something on the earlier Facebook post about limitations, I think.
Right.
But I really like this theme today.
Okay,
really
good.
struck a chord.
Good. Okay, Jane. You are so brave. I love the brave ones. What do you want to know about regarding this theme? What did it trigger in you?
I have been pursuing my fairy tale life, and I've only recently realized that that is ridiculous and that I shouldn't be pursuing it, that I should be chilling out, doing what's fun for me, following that guidance, because the best things in my life really do just happen. And I know that the timing is divine. I can see that in the best things that have happened to me in my life. I didn't make it happen. I just let them happen. So I that's what it triggered in me, and I guess what hoping the guides can elaborate on that, or maybe my guides can tell me
That's really,
where I'm limiting myself.
I love it. I love it. You left it open. You didn't close it in. You didn't lead the question. That's right. That's how you do it. And Jane, always, always, always use your journal and write in there what you're feeling, what you think is guidance, even if you think you're not sure if it's guidance, write it in there and date it in part 3 and look back at it in a day from now.
You know what? I'll tell you, I was doing that so consistently for a while, and then I took a break and I didn't get back to it. I said, "Oh, I got this. I don't need to write it anymore." But that's not true. So I promise I'll get back to it.
It's good.
You're not the only one who does that. You know those 18 videos that we have, one video for each page in part 2?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people watched the first one, and then a few less people watched the second one, and then a few less people watched the third one. So what we learned is that everybody seemed to get the first one, the fear one. That's page 1.
Yeah.
But as they went on, they felt less sure of themselves.
I think they kind of got lost. And that's really what this is about too. We help these guys, we help you, we help everybody. Any question you have around that also, while we're working on these themes each week, we want to work with you on that. Okay. So wherever you get hung up and need to move through that, so.
And one thing about the videos, I mean, they're each one an hour long. So it's hard for somebody to sit down and watch 18 hours of videos.
Yeah.
And we suggested just watch the one you're working on. But when the deluxe published version comes out in about a month
of My Guided Journey,
it includes 18 MP3s. Linda pulled out the video or the soundtracks and made them into MP3. So now you can take them with you on your phone.
That's good.
Yeah,
you take them with you when you're working out or walking the dog.
There's something about an audio track where when you listen to the audio track, it's like a movie for the mind. You can see where you fit into it. It's good,
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, and that's going to be included. It's going to be $5.99 for anybody that just buys the MP3s, but the book's going to be $10.99. So why not get the journal?
Absolutely.
With, the whole thing. It's for okay. So Jane, back to your question. Let's clear the air here, and let's get back to that question about. Go.
Okay. So what do my guides want me to know about letting things flow into my life rather than trying so hard as
That's good.
I've known to do.
That's good. I couldn't say it better, and that's exactly right. And it's not leading. And like always, breathe, breathe, breathe. Always have. That's the first thing we do is breathe. That excess out, that resistance out, that stress out from the day, and breathe life back into our bodies. Wow. After a long weekend, even, we still need to do that, right? Just like writing in that journal, you can't miss the breath, right, Jane? All right, your spirit guides and angels, they're here with us now, Jane, and they're going to talk to you about this, and here they go.
Hello, Jane. It's nice to see you.
To see you.
What is the difference between trying to achieve something and allowing it to just happen? When you are chasing something, you see it off in the distance and have already formulated some type of outcome that you desire. It's like in your dreams, you saw your future life and you honed in on what you saw. However, when it doesn't show up or takes a long time to show up, you get discouraged and even start to doubt yourself. You start asking yourself negative questions. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I pretty enough to attract my prince? If you stop thinking and doubting and accept who you are at any time in your life as being perfect in the moment, you will change the energy you are putting out and start to attract other people who vibrate at your level.
Okay. And that's the key, by the way. You start attracting people that vibrate at your level. Think about that.
You nailed it.
How do you feel that you've been vibrating?
Off and on. Sometimes I'm there and sometimes I'm not.
Okay. I'm breathing more here. I feel like if you just were to, when you breathe, it's acceptance. You're good with everything that's going on because you're letting life in. You're not protecting yourself. You're not resisting anything. It's not filled with resistance. So, and you feel it right here. You feel where you're getting jammed back up again. It's right in here. And when you breathe, you feel that whole thing just release in this area. If you just practice that, so you're not doing this anymore, this yo-yo thing, right? And you're more in tune than you're out of tune. If you just do that one thing, you'll notice a difference in what you're attracting to you. Because you attract to you what you're doing,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me.
Yeah. If it was easy, Jane, everyone would do it. There wouldn't be a challenge for anybody. So we come here in this life. We come here to learn these things. We come here to become masters at this. But we have to, we mix ourselves up in this world and we get kicked around and thrown off course and we forget to breathe and we start chasing stuff. And I mean, we do all the things, all the things that we have to learn when we come here. And we know it. You see, you're here with us tonight because this part of you knows this. And it knows that this part of you it's messing it up. All right. It still has some things to learn. So this
isn't actually a new way of learning. It's more a new way of remembering. Because you remembered all this stuff when you came here.
Yeah.
Before the amnesia,
Okay, I'm going to use an example. I'm hoping this will help you. I remember the first success when I got out of the house, and it was a couple years later, and my whole life just took off. Cinderella, right?
Linderella.
It just took off. Everything I touched, it was a magic, all right? What happened is, here's how that happened. I talk about it in my flagship book, Guided, but I'll talk to you about it in a way where it's like I lived it, just, the way it happened in short. And I look back at it, I didn't expect anything. I wasn't used to expecting anything, was I? Not coming from that childhood, I wasn't. And when I just got to do all this stuff, I was so excited. It didn't matter if it was work. To me, I wasn't afraid of work. I had already been working all this time. As a kid, that's what I did. I worked all the time. I cooked, I cleaned, I sewed. I did everything. I kept the yard up. I did everything. All right. Cinderella. And, but I had a good attitude about it because I got away from those guys, those family members. And, I got to be in my world, where I live and with my guides. And I got that intuition and that insight all the time. And so when I got out of the house, and it took me a couple years, I had a baby, all this stuff, and I was getting my bearings underneath me. This stuff all showed up, and I was on it. There was no such thing as, I can't do it. I've never done it. How do I do it? I didn't hesitate one bit. I was in the game, okay, all in. And yeah, people would say, Linda, you're taking really big chances. What happens if it doesn't work out and you have to file bankruptcy? I don't know. I never thought about that. In other words, my point to you, Jane, is if there's any fear in there, if people from out in this outer world is the one that instilled that fear in there, that got us moving that way. And if there's anything wrecking your party, anything in there, any, dialogue going on.
There is.
Okay, that's telling you that you're not good enough. You can't do it. Not right now. It's
right. Not right now is a big one for me.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got to listen to this. This does not lie. And you've got to remember to write it back into your journal in part 3. Okay. And keep this going because this is part 3 is your lifeline. When your life goes completely out of whack, you pull this back out and you look back into part 3 and you start reading, putting the dots together. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. And that's where I am right now. And you know what, you guys, you son of a guns, I'm not going to let you do this to me. No, you're not going to let fear have you. It will keep you from doing the same things you used to do. All right. Okay. That knee-jerk response, that fear trigger, that set you off in the wrong direction. I can only tell you that, and the reason I brought up that first success I had when I first got free from my childhood is, number one, I didn't expect it. I didn't see that coming. And number two, I wasn't afraid of anything. No fear. Maybe didn't even have any sense in a way. But that was good because I didn't let all these adults, these people that were 10 and 15, 20 years older than me, convince me that I was stepping too far, too fast, and I had guidance. So when I'll tell you what I did listen to is when they came through and said, it's time to get in, I was in. when they said it was time to get out, and I was smoking. I'm hot. I was going full bore. And they said, oh, game over. The thing's going to crash. Get the heck out, sell all your stuff and get out. I'm like, oh man, that's a drag. I mean, what?
You were having fun.
I can't imagine.
Okay, well, you're telling me no? Okay, but you know what I knew? I knew they knew. I knew it. And I said, oh, jeez. So I'm moving. Now I'm going from this direction. Wham! I'm going into this direction now. And I knew it. And I got out literally just a couple months before the whole thing crashed.
I love that story so much.
God. And I can only say that when you have this connection to your guides and you see, when you follow that, you track it, you write it down, you got to be true to yourself. That's what this is. And that's why I wrote this. That's why this is there. It's so you guys you got it. There's nothing that can get in your way. You keep track of yourself. And when you feel yourself go into those negative emotions or those doubts, you pull your journal back out and you read your story. Not somebody else's story. You read your own. And you're not going that way. In fact, you turn your whole self around energetically, and you're not sinking anymore. You're staying true to yourself. You're staying right on track, and you're true north. True north is the direction your guides are guiding you. Now, you could be off a little bit or a little bit, but not way out here, okay? And this is what this will keep you from doing, and this will bring you your fairy tale life. It really will. But you know what, Jane? You have to be open to what you're not expecting. The last thing I expected was to be an architect, a home builder, a general contractor. I owned a construction company that was monumental at that time. And I never expected that I'd be going into these GC general contractors, offices and cutting deals with them.
That's awesome.
1,000 apartment complexes. I was 21 years old. All right. How did I learn how to do all this? I had no education in any of it. I knew exactly what to do. And I knew how to deal with these guys when it was time to get our pay on. Because when they didn't have their pay, our pay to pay our payroll each week for our carpenters, we had a $30,000 a week payroll in the early 70s.
Wow.
And when they told me they didn't have that check, I would go, many times I talked about it and got it. I'd go out, I'd have that moment with myself. I wouldn't panic, and I would just, let it come through.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
You grounded and centered, and then waited for the guidance?
Yes.
I need to do that more. Sometimes.
Here's what I didn't do. I didn't panic.
Right.
See,
and jump right in. Mm-hmm.
Right. When I was 20 months old and my mom almost killed me, and I panicked.
And you can remember the panic?
Oh, I remember I remember the smells. I remember everything about it, Jane. Wow. And I panicked. I was scared. It was shocking that I was still in this world. I thought I was out of here, And when I realized I was still here, I was like, I couldn't believe I was still here. It was the worst feeling in the world.
Wow.
And that's when I asked out loud for help, for someone to help me. And my guides all showed up. When I asked for that help, I released the panic for that moment, and bang, they were there. All right. So that's how I learned that. I learned that at 20 months old when they came to my rescue. So when I was an adult and things went down and they went against me, I went, I breathed. I didn't panic. Okay. And the answers came. The guidance came. All right. And you know what? I got paid every single time.
Or else.
No, I got paid every single time. I walked in there. I was a non-threatening girl.
And you made it happen.
No, I didn't have a hard hat, right?
Hard hat on?
And I walked in there and I was really nice to these guys. And I'd go, I understand that you can't pay us, but I don't know. how much the carpenters are going to understand that when I tell them that. And since they know where you live, I'll tell you what I'm going to tell my carpenters. I'm going to tell them to come to your house and you can explain it to them.
That's
Right?
wisdom.
That was like, how could I think that up? I was a kid. How could I think that up? Okay,
It is
so
very persuasive.
it's,
I have one more question for you.
what's
I have,
that?
I have one more question for you.
Okay.
When you received your guidance, or when you do receive your guidance now, because I'll tell you, for me, sometimes I know for sure, because I feel it, or I kind of get like an impression or something. A very rare occasion, I might hear a word, hear, air quotes, hear. It's not really hearing. It's like a word comes to mind, like boom. I know I didn't put that there. How do you? And I hope that's going to get even stronger over time. What is your feedback on that?
Okay, what's still happening with you is you're still surprised by it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so as long as you're still surprised by it, you're not really connecting with it. All right?
That's
fine.
disappointing, but okay.
Yeah, I understand. But I got to tell you like it is, and I will always tell you like it is, and I'll tell you where you're missing it. But you're not missing it. You're just kind of, it's there, but it's just kind of sweeping by a little bit.
You.
Okay, so you're there, all right? But you've got to use this, Jane.
Okay.
This will be tethered to you when you're driving a car to go somewhere, and that guidance comes through, right? Because you got to write it right in there. And the way that you're driving your car, you can't write it right in there right now. So
I use my iPhone. iPhone, remind me that.
Speak it into your iPhone.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
But another way, like say you're in the shower and it comes through. You know how that happens?
Still use the iPhone there too, but I get your meaning. There will be times where I will not have my phone.
If you say out the keywords in the guidance, so you can, it's a trigger to remember the rest of it.
Okay.
You say it 3 times out loud while you're in the shower or driving or whatever, and say it 3 times out loud. Exactly
the keyword.
Yes, keywords. And then when you stop your car or you get out of the shower, you say those keywords and boom, you remember. It's like a dream. You remember the whole dream, right? You write it in you get your journal out and you start writing it in there.
Okay.
Waste no time because it'll dissipate quickly. The more that you do this, writing your dreams down is really critical.
Just started that.
Okay.
Literally.
I will tell you that it's the dream work that I started in the mid 80s that really accelerated my pace with everything. It sharpened me up. I was sharp,
Really?
but it's like a switch that, is on and off, on and off, on and off. My switch was on all the time.
Cool.
Okay. And a lot of interesting, like fascinating, energetic things were happening with my guides. And teaching dreams started to come, where in these lucid teaching dreams, where they would teach me, and the next night they'd pick up where they left off the night before.
Really cool.
Continued the curriculum. So this is the kind of thing that'll happen because they know that you're paying attention.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Now you've got to write those dreams down in your journal in part 3. Right. Okay, and keep it going, Jane. You're on your way.
Thank you.
You're welcome if you just follow these things, okay?
Okay.
And you will have your Cinderella life. You will have your fairy tale life, but it's not going to be what you expected it to be. It's going to be. Okay. That's what you've got to be open to. Cinderella did not expect that to happen, all right? There's no way she saw that one coming. She didn't have any idea that was in her destiny. I did not see my life after childhood like it turned out to be. I didn't see that. Okay.
You couldn't have, could you?
No. In fact, my whole family was insulted by me.
What?
Yeah, the word insulted is the best word to describe it because they raised my 2 brothers to be successes. And they
in the construction business.
Right.
Like your father.
Right. And they raised me to cook, clean, and sew, right?
Oh.
And I didn't get it. See, all my life that was what I was told. Linda, you don't get it. And I was I understand now that was a good thing.
Thank God you didn't. Mm-hmm.
Well, they never gave you any encouragement to do anything else but what they told you to do. And I made a couple notes here as you guys were talking there. One reason you were successful, you say not expecting things. Another reason you were successful is that you couldn't accept what was. You could not accept what everybody was telling you.
The dismal reality they were showing me.
Right.
I couldn't. I just couldn't. And see, what gave me the foundation, Jane, it really goes back to this, and it's so important. This is so important, is when I met my guides at 20 months old, at that moment, when I was in that, mess with when my mom almost killed me, when that happened, and I saw what they saw when they saw me, the guides, I realized that this world was not all there was. It's like it lifted such a burden off of me.
I bet.
Imagine that. I want you to take that thought, and it is in this week's guided insight, Linda's weekly guided insight, where I actually say that, okay? That's actually in there. And that is so important to wrap your head around, that once you realize that this world is not
all there is.
Mm-hmm. Nothing here can mess you up. It can't dominate you. It can't throw you into a fear-based life. It can't keep you from being who you are, At the same time, it doesn't make you obnoxious either. It just lets you be who it is that came here to be and experience,
That's your secret weapon.
It really is.
Don't believe what they tell you, because what they're going to tell you is to make you one of the pack, fit in, be part of the group. The same group of friends you grew up with and went to high school with, maybe to college with, and you look at some of them and they're doing the same things they were doing in college and high school right now.
Yeah. It's a life of compliance, and it's not the one that once you're done with this world and you're ready to be released from this life, that you feel like you're fulfilled from being here. That's the life you want to live. And if you find yourself, and I've always said this, if I die in my tracks as I'm pursuing what I'm after, I'm all good with that, because that's why I'm here. I have no regrets about that.
Wonderful.
You do what you do it for yourself, but you do it for the world too. But if you're the only one left in this world that appreciates what you do, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make that connection, and you make that connection, and the connection to your guides, it happens automatically. It's a byproduct. It's not something that you decide to pursue. It's all the other things that you do that align you with it, and it just happens.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
And you're beautiful, Jane. You are.
You are too, Linda. I say that every week. You guys are gorgeous, both of you.
That's her secret superpower.
We love having you.
All right, let's see who else is in our queue here. Jane? Okay.
How cool is this? Jane is our early adopter.
Yes, she was our early adopter. Okay. We got Joy and Judy. Oh, everybody tonight, their name starts with J. So only people with J can come in. No, we're just kidding. Okay, we got Joy and Judy. Judy got knocked off Zoom, but now she's back.
Great.
She had to relog in. Okay. She wants to know what her guides have to say today to her. Now, that's kind of general and a little off topic, but let's try.
Is this Jane?
This is Judy.
Or Judy.
Judy P.
No, Judy. That's what I meant.
And then Joy's talking about she had a Cinderella life from a certain time, then her husband died. Okay, we're going to talk about that.
Right.
So Judy, try to refine. I know you may not, this is the first time I think you've joined us, you may not have read the insight.
The theme for tonight.
Every Tuesday we have a theme.
Yeah.
And we try to stick as close to it. Tonight it's the Cinderella life. Everybody has this dream of coming up as a princess and meeting their Prince Charming like Linda did.
It had this. You are the best. Ray's awesome.
That's my secret weapon, superpower, ultra charming.
The name of this theme for tonight is, what do you, Meghan Markle, and Cinderella have in common? And I read this insight at the early part of this live video, and it has to do with, like, Cinderella had her fairy godmother, right? I had my spirit guides and angels, and we both grew up in Cinderella, and I both grew up, and Meghan Markle even. She grew up in she didn't have it easy in the beginning of her life. And
she was driving a $100 car. She had to get in and out of the hatchback to get in and out of the car.
Right. So she could honor herself. So she could do she could, pursue acting. That's a long shot. And she did really well at it. So she never gave up on herself. She had dreams and she went after her dreams. And even if she had to suffer some of the time, and she did live a frugal life, and she did not always have it easy. And Cinderella was abused. She came up from a life of child abuse, is what she grew up in. If you really break down the story of Cinderella, and that's the life I grew up in. And she came out, with flying colors, and so did I, because we didn't let those people beat us down. And our superpower was that Cinderella had her fairy godmother. I had my spirit guides and angels. So we had a connection. We had a connection. And that connection comes from where we came from, who we are, and not just letting this world, eat you alive. All right.
Don't believe what they tell you.
As it throws those daggers at you, this is who you are, and you're way more powerful than this. Okay. Although you have to bring these together, it's not, we didn't come here to live a fear-based lives. That's what we didn't come here to do. So your question would be lined up with that type of thought. So what is your question around that?
We're going to see here. We could bring you up on the screen here.
Yeah.
Judy P. I think you might have to. Hi. I think there you go.
There you are.
I think you.
Judy P.
Can you hear me?
Joy, that's Joy.
Yeah.
Hi, Joy.
Hi. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Is it Judy? Is that you?
Yeah. I can't get the camera to work at the same time as the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Strangely.
Yeah.
But can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how to. Sorry, I can't show my face tonight.
Well, that's okay.
But it's really nice to see you all. I love your work, Linda and Ray. I think you're both so wonderful. I loved your book.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. Leave a review, Judy.
I think I did. It was an Audible review. I'll do another one. I actually want to listen to it again.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your question, Judy?
Well, I feel like, it's interesting because I was attracted to, I wanted to come anyway tonight, but Cinderella is my favorite fairy tale. But I've never thought about it in the sense that she had, spirit guides and angels, of course, her fairy godmother,
right,
guiding her the whole time. I never thought about that aspect of it. And I feel like in my life, I do know that I'm guided. I have a lot of moments where I just feel like there's miracles that happen to me. And at some points I trust the guidance that comes through. But lately I've been feeling kind of bogged down and doubting myself and wondering if it's really my intuition coming through or if it's just my ego. I think, that's maybe someplace where I'd like to have guidance tonight. Okay. If that's still relevant to.
Oh yeah. It's good. Now, Judy, do you use My Guided Journey to write in?
I haven't printed it off yet, but it's on my list of things.
We're going to have this on Amazon published. in its full
Great.
version, the completed version,
About the middle of June.
something
Okay,
like that.
perfect. Because my
Sometime in
printer's
June.
really old, so I can't.
I
feel like
know.
I want to print it off, but so
I know.
I'll wait for the book to come out.
Yeah. That's going to really help you. It's so important to write it all down. I talk about it in Guided where I journaled my whole life because I had so many things going on that had I not written them down, it was like I had my best friend, like my best friend. I had some place I could talk. I could, I could make sense of what was going on in my life, because anybody going through what I went through as a child, they may have thought that they were losing it. All right. And I was always I was always tuned into that. I was always careful that I checked in with myself all the time to make sure that I was on track, that I wasn't, it's just something I was aware of. And I lived around enough of these people, right? That I had to make sure I wasn't going down that road. I had my wits about me. So that journaling will really keep you connected and tuned in and on track, okay, and focused. So, okay, Judy. I love having their names there, by the way. It really helps me. Your guides are going to talk to you about where you have been missing it, why you have been missing it, and what you need to do to change that, okay? Because they're with you all the time. They see exactly what you're doing, all right?
Okay.
The spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to answer that before they go, Judy.
Hello, Judy. We have some questions for you. When you receive guidance, do you like what you hear always?
That's a question.
Not always. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, this is so difficult to follow, really.
Okay. Ooh.
That's sometimes what happens for me, or I really just doubt. I'm like, really?
Okay. Now, it's because you're not hearing what you want to hear. All right?
That's possible.
You know how people, okay, I got to share this with you. You know how people will say, I'm a seeker of the truth. You guys have all met people that say that, right?
Yeah.
Watch out for those people when they say that. Have you ever realized that?
No.
The person who says, I'm a seeker of the truth, and the more intense they are about making that statement, the more they have problems with accepting the truth when it comes through. Okay, Jack Nicholson. How does Jack Nicholson say it?
Yeah.
He goes,
you can't handle the truth.
Right. That's right. So when you're getting information, like you said, you get information that what did you say that you don't like? How did you word it?
Yeah, if you don't like it, how do you feel when you don't like it? What do you do when you don't like it?
Okay, so I think Ray asked you, do you get or they came through and said, do you get information about?
Do you always like what you hear?
Right. Do you always like what you hear? That and the fact that you said no is extraordinary,
right.
Because when you hear something you didn't expect, that is guidance all over the place. That is so pure. Please don't squander that and write it into part 3. That's like sitting down and getting a reading that's so accurate. It's the best. Okay, write it in there and date it. And if you have doubts about it because you might be going, well, yeah, I wrote it down, but it's not what I wanted to hear. So I have doubts about it. No, you don't. You don't have doubts about it. You have doubts about yourself. That's unrelated to the guidance that came through. They're different.
If people who say they get guidance and they like it, all the guidance they get, that's really them talking to themselves.
That's their ego. They're channeling.
That's their ego. They're channeling their ego.
Okay, so you're getting guidance because you're not always getting what you want to hear.
And you know
That's awesome.
If it's you or your guides by the way you feel. I mean, if you feel wonderful every time you get guidance, it's probably not your guides all the time.
Yeah. Then you should question, wait a minute, is this guidance? But if you get a fair share of yes, that feels really good. And oh, I didn't think I had to do all that work, or I didn't think I had to wait as long. Or I want to hear that. Okay,
Right.
together, the good, the bad, the ugly, it all. You have to write it in your journal because you won't be able to see what it is until you connect the dots. You can't connect the dots until you write it down. All right?
Right.
So let's let them finish talking to her. You answered their question, and they're going to finish their thought with you. And here they go, Judy.
When you are receiving guidance, remember these 3 things. Write down what you heard. Write down how it made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then write down immediately what action, even a small action, you are going to take to move in the direction of the guidance.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. I think why I sometimes think that not that I don't like it always, but that I think, oh, this is not real, is because every now and then I'll receive what feels like quote unquote real guidance, because I will get a voice so surprising in my head that I just know, I know.
Right.
And then other times I'll ask for guidance, and then I'll get answers, and I don't always have that feeling. It's pretty rare. So I know you say the guides are always with me, but I guess that's that. I just want to tell the guides that's why sometimes I feel like, is it really you, or is it,
Okay, so here, how is Judy doing with receiving guidance at this time in her life? And here they go.
She is a very good antenna.
Oh.
And we want you to know that when you hear the voices in your head, most likely it's your higher self.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And your higher self is connected to all of your guides.
Right.
They are like this all the time. Okay. So, Judy, you have to start writing these things down.
Yeah.
You're a fountain of guidance. You really are.
Yeah. Pretty soon you'll be writing so fast you won't believe how it was there all the time.
It's going to be you're going to have this. You're going to have the journal, the published one when you get it. You're going to have it tethered to you because it's going to be. You're going to be just, floating in guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about both journals,
you already are.
The one you print off the website and the one that you're going to get on Amazon is that if you run out of pages at page 3, you can go to the website and print more pages.
Just print as many as you want to keep that part 3 going, and it's free. We offer that for free. So it also comes with 18 MP3s to listen to take you through the journey in part 2. All right. All of this is going to accelerate your antenna. It's going to brighten it. It's going to sharpen it for all of you. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is this exciting, you guys? Do you have any?
It's so exciting.
Oh my God!
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So until I get the book, I should go to part 3. And I mean, is there like a question there that I can start working with right away?
You can print out. Just print out. Just to get the daily stuff going. Print out part 3, and you can print out the journal part. Where you do the journal writing, and that's where you're going to see it. It's brilliant the way this is laid out.
It walks you right through it.
It's awesome. And there's little things you fill out. You check the boxes, then you write in the guidance that you got or the dream that you got. Okay.
Or the event that happened, or the person who walked up to you, the total stranger walked up and said something to you.
Right. And you just know that was something sent to you, that messenger. And then you write in there how it felt and all this kind of stuff. And just put it in a little binder. I've got these little half-size binders, but you can put them in the larger binders or whatever, and just staple them together. Do anything, but start journaling.
Right.
Start your journal writing. And do you remember your dreams?
I do. I write them down all
You know
the
what?
time.
You are a cornucopia of getting and receiving this guidance. You need to, man, don't squander this. I will tell you this, that there's moments in people's lives, like certain times in our lives, when we're more charged up to act on this stuff, to really hone our skills in remembering our dreams, getting the guidance, what it felt like, acting on it, including all that in our lives, and then we have a life that works, not a life that's rigid and strangles us, really, but you've got this point in your life where you're white hot. You're at that point. All of you are at that point, or you wouldn't be here with us. You're at that point, and you've got to take action on it. You've got to, start writing it down, because you're not crazy. I can't tell you how many people have said to me, Linda, are you sure I'm not crazy? This will keep you from
Ever asking yourself that question?
Yes, it will keep you from doubting yourself. And if you did veer off and kind of go out there, out of bounds a little bit, when you go back and you review what you wrote and you look through here and you see what you wrote, you're going to go, that wasn't a good day for me, and you're going to then know what that feels like. When you have those days, you're going to know what that feels like. And you're going to go, okay, I'm having one of those days, or everybody has them,
Mm-hmm.
So,
and since you remember your dreams and you can write them down when you wake up, ask your questions at night before you go to sleep. Ask your guides the questions that you have on your mind, and ask them to bring the answers to you in your dreams,
and you write it,
or the first thing in the morning.
and you write it in the journal. You write it on the page for the part 3. You date it, and you write the question right here, and you take that page and put it next to your bed. Sleep, and have it sitting right there, and read the question before you're laying down. You read the question before you go to sleep.
Okay.
And then you go to sleep and leave it sitting right there with a pen.
And you get your answers.
You will get your answers. Just trust that that's going to work, and it'll start rolling out for all of you. For all of you.
Okay, that's interesting, because I think what I'm going to ask my guides tonight is what my dreams have been meaning, because the last couple of nights have been sort of disturbing dreams, and I haven't really been wanting to look at them, because I'm like, what does this mean? So I think tonight I'm going to ask them to give me some guidance.
You are at a pinnacle in your life that just, if you can just get your earthly self straightened out. Okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Your higher self is really working at getting through to you over here. The mundane persona, the daily self, the person here that's just a part of you's here. But the wisest, strongest, most powerful part of you is trying to reach you. All right. And when you allow yourself to be reached, when you do the things you need to do the work, write it down, right? And you don't have to worry about what it means. Do not worry. Just come next week and bring these things with you. And let's let your guides talk to you, your higher self, talk to you and get you clear about that's that, this is this, so much of this and so much of that. And I will say this, the dreams are the first place your guides will try to reach you. It's the easiest place for them to reach humans, because you're not in your way. You're out of your daily life.
You're actually awake. You're awake when you're sleeping, and you're sleeping during the day.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And they can reach you because you are out of the way without scaring you. See, in your day life, if they were to show up and go, okay, da 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 da, they'd scare the heebie-jeebies out of you. They don't want to scare you guys. They do show up for me because they know they know I know who they are. We remember each other. We got this down. But as you're learning it and through the dreams, you will accelerate so fast. But you've got to write them down and bring them on Tuesdays.
Okay. That's awesome. I feel bad. I don't want to make my higher self work so hard to get through to me.
Well, you're at a point. See, here's what it is. It's not just that. You're at a point in your life where you've been called, and it's now. And if you squander this now that you're in, it's going to pass you by, and it's going to slow down. Okay. Don't let that happen.
I won't.
Get in there and grab this thing. And there's some stuff there that you need to work out. Some gunk in your life that your higher self is telling you need to work on, So that's okay. Just write it in there and just write it in there,
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next person whose name starts with J, Joy. Joy, that you've got some beautiful hair. Look at that.
She does. Really long hair. Let me look at her. She does.
There it is.
Yeah.
How does my hair look in high def?
You have great hair.
He loves hearing that, Joy.
Yeah, me and Greg Braden.
Yep.
So what's on Joy's mind?
I had probably a typical life. I had the Cinderella life, but it really got into the fairy tale thing after I was 50. My husband had brain cancer, and that triggered our spiritual journey. And at that point, things got really good, and everything was wonderful. Even though I had to do everything and take care of him and manage everything, I just felt like I was guided and things worked out well. But after he died, it's like I'm full of fear, and I don't know why, because I had so much more to do before and so much more to take care of. But now, every little thing that comes up, I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? And I'm just wondering, can you get that fairy tale life back again?
Okay, what's really interesting about this, Joy, is you had this fairy tale life show up when your husband was diagnosed with brain cancer, right?
Yep.
Now, that's out of the box. Okay, now, Jane, earlier, just for a moment, I'm going to go over to Jane. Jane, this would be an example of not expecting what's coming your way. And I'm not saying brain cancer or anything like that. I'm saying things can come your way that you would never expect contained all this great feeling and this expansion that Joy is talking about. All right. So I think it's interesting how these things show up. No way in the world would Joy have ever created that scenario. My husband, he's going to get brain cancer so we can expand. Right?
You would think there'd be an easier way.
It just doesn't make sense. But that's, get out of your way. We have to get out of our way and quit expecting all these things. And that's what messes it all up. So we're going to let the guides talk to you about the thrill is gone. What happened to it? Where did it go? When he crossed over, where did it go? And here they go.
It's like he took it with him.
Yeah. Okay, Joy, your spirit guides and angels and higher self are here with us now, and they're going to tell you what that's really all about. And here they go.
The saddest thing of this generation will be that so many people lived a fear-based life. You were fortunate not to have suffered through a fear-based life when one or more of the partners were challenged in other ways. So now you feel fear. You must look at what is triggering the fear, because it is something external to yourself that's causing it. It's always coming from exterior things: family, friends, society, the news, the government, anything that causes fear in your life is external. So what is it right now that is causing you fear?
That's a question.
Just making everyday decisions.
Okay.
Purchasing a fence, all the things that I've always taken care of. Now it's a big deal. And I try to work through these things, and I do eventually get them done. But I never had anxiety about making decisions.
Okay. I'm going to say this to you because it's coming to me. When your husband was alive and you had this this project, he was your project. You guys,
Yes.
yeah. You had this project that you were so focused on. You knew exactly what you could spin a bunch of plates. You had it all worked out, and you were expanding spiritually. Everything was there. Everything was really working out really well. And then your focus left.
Yeah.
Your husband crossed over. So your focus was now gone. It's like your purpose was gone.
Yep.
Something like that. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to let them talk to her. I see that real clearly, and that's why you can't answer that now. That's you can't focus. And here they go.
It's because of the shift in energy. When one person attempts to accomplish something by themselves, it takes a certain amount of energy. But when two people focus on the same project, it's not double the energy, it's more than double. It's an accelerated degree of clarity, energy, and focus. Now it feels like your energy has been cut down by more than half, and doubt creeps in every once in a while.
Yes.
So what does she do?
Doubt is coming from inside you, while fear bombards you externally. You must not listen to the fear tactics of the daily life, and this will eliminate any doubts you have about making decisions or getting things done. It will also help to ask us to increase your energy.
Have you done that?
No, that's a good idea.
Okay, here's what you need to do, Joy. you need to reconnect is what you need to do. Because you had the connection and then your husband left and then you lost the connection. What you lost is the momentum.
Right.
That's what you lost. You're going to start building the momentum back up by writing into your journal, part 3, what you want to talk to your guides about, what you need their help for. You're going to talk to them like your friend, and you're going to start having dialogue with them. And here's what's going to happen. As you're writing into part 3 and you're just talking to them, you're having this conversation with them in written form, and you're dating it. What's going to happen is intermingled within those lines of writing that you're doing, they're going to start dropping guidance in. You're going to read it, you're going to look back at it and read it and go, I don't remember thinking that. I don't remember writing that. And you're going to see where they've infiltrated your writing, where you're writing, and then there's those little spots. And what you do is you highlight those spots that you don't recognize, because that's them talking to you. You're not just talking to them, they're talking back through automatic writing. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You've never done that, have you?
I've actually done some in the past and, would ask a question and just wait for the answer and just write whatever.
I'm not telling you to write. I don't want you to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay. This is how automatic writing really advances. It's not through asking questions. It's through talking to your guides, writing, and just talking like you did with us tonight. Talk to them about these things and say, I need you guys to give me more energy. I need you to charge me up. I need to get back to that feeling that I had when your husband, whatever his name is, was with me, and we had this expansive experience together before he crossed over. And I had this connection to you. Talk to them. Relive what that was as you write it in your journal. And then as you keep writing this, don't just do it one day and forget about it. Do it every single day. Spend 15 minutes every single day writing to your guides. These are not questions. Speaking to them, communicating with them through pen. All right. And you're going to start seeing this stuff show up.
Yeah, in one of the few messages on my Universal channel, they said, "You lazy."
Okay. But you're hurting more than you're lazy now, right?
I think so. Yeah, you feel kind of lost, and then you get distracted when you're lost.
Yeah. So your talking board is good. I want you to use this more and start writing. And when they see you doing this, when you work with your talking board, they will see that you're not lazy, that you're definitely focused, and you're giving this the attention it deserves. All right. Just start doing that. Everything I'm going to tell you guys is easier than you thought. It's all easier than you thought. Your dreams, you remember your dreams? Write your dreams into part 3. Don't worry about what they mean. Bring them on Tuesdays. Your guides will talk to you about what they mean. All right?
Right.
And solve. You guys, not only will you have it solved, but you're going to have fun. When I went to dream classes, I loved my dream classes. I had a blast. And the dreams that I was having they got more and more amazing. It wakes you up. This is all about waking back up again. What's that one thing instead of sleepwalking through your life, right?
Yeah.
What was that phrase, Ray?
Sleepwalking. The one I saw recently said, "Don't try to wake them up."
Yeah.
Because they're on a mission. They're walking towards something.
Yeah.
They're getting guidance somehow.
What you guys are is you're waking up out of a slumber, and it's exciting when you first make this connection. Joy knows she made that connection with the momentum of her husband before he crossed over. And now, she just needs some energy to get the momentum moving again. But you just start writing, Joy, okay? Just start doing that. And you're going to start seeing this, and your focus is going to come back. That's what's happening with you. Your focus is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And breathe, you guys. Always breathe. I can feel myself breathing right there.
Yeah.
Breathe, Joy. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And just let yourself release the stress and tension associated with all this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have a weird dream last night.
Nope. Don't use that word weird.
All right.
Nothing's ever weird or strange. It's always interesting.
Yes.
I had an interesting dream last night.
Good.
I was a German Shepherd.
Oh,
And-
that's strange.
I bit a dire wolf's leg and punctured it, and poop was flowing out of the puncture wound.
Mm.
Okay, so that means that, okay, you want
What did you have to eat before you went to bed?
okay.
Probably wolfbane.
Mhm. So, Ray, you know these dreams. I've been working with you.
First of all, Linda taught me, well, the first thing she taught me is that you are everybody in the dream. You know, you have these dreams with a bunch of people, and male, female, you know, some family members, some strangers, but you're everybody in the dream. And you kind of segment out what each person's trying to tell you, or how you feel when you interact with each of those people.
Or animals.
Or animals.
In this case, okay? You remember what she told you in the dream?
No.
So repeat the dream. It was
Well, I was a German Shepherd.
And you bit another dog.
Let her talk.
I bit a dire wolf, which is much larger, from Game of Thrones, and poop started flowing out of the puncture wound of the leg.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're both male energy because they're dogs. Okay, that's what dogs are. They're male energy. And, okay, go ahead.
The fact that you attacked the bigger dog, you did that because you had to get over a fear.
Right.
You had to overcome a certain fear to attack a bigger dog because you either had your I've had it day with that dog,
Or that subject, that
or that
matter.
subject, or whatever, and you bit them, and the poop started coming out. They couldn't control their crap anymore
Right,
around you.
right. So they were full of crap, okay? That whoever it was you attacked, that you were fearless about attacking, even though you were smaller. And it was male energy that you were using that was coming through you, that was acting out. So that's a good dream in the sense that you were not afraid of something that was bigger than you. And when you did bite it, what revealed itself was that it was full of, you know what? That's what it means.
That's it.
Right. That is what it means. So there's something about somebody that you know or some situation that you are aware of that that seems to be bigger than you, that is a pile of you know what. And you confront it, and it exposes itself. It can't hide. Under the surface, the crap comes out. All right. So can you identify what that is in your day life?
I would assume that it was my real estate issue that I got the lawyer and attacked it.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So,
And who's more full of crap than lawyers?
but the point is she took care of the situation. She didn't let it get to her. So what do we have here?
We have somebody else whose name begins with J. Jody. Hi, Jody.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Oh, doing great.
Well, that's good. We're glad to have you. Was this the first time with us?
Yes, I've read her books before.
How did you find out about us?
I was getting her messages online all the time. So.
Tip your camera down just a little bit so we can see it. See, there you go.
Oh, okay.
So,
There, much better. There you go.
All right.
So how do you know about us?
Oh, yeah, I read your book.
Oh, there you go. Did you leave your review?
Oh, it's a long time ago. Yeah, I think I did.
Did you? Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's always your heartfelt words that help other people find guided and help them to heal.
Oh, yes.
So what's your Cinderella question?
Cinderella question. I lived that Cinderella life, yes, because I had a rough childhood, but I survived it. But they'll kill you, make you stronger. I always said.
That's right. So what is your question today, dear?
Oh, about the angels, because I always been able to connect to the spirit realm and stuff. It's just I wish I could see them.
Oh, she wishes she could see it. You hear them, but you can't see them.
Yes.
That's what their question was.
Now that's interesting. And her first name.
Jody.
Yes.
Jody, we're just going to let your guides, your spirit guides, and your angels. They know you better than anybody, okay? And we're just going to let them talk to you about what they see. Is the most important thing for you to know right now in your life. And here they go.
Seeing things and hearing things are interesting topics. People hear voices all the time and never see who it is. And others may call them crazy. However, seeing something isn't that important if you are getting the messages through hearing. There's millions and millions of examples where people have seen UFOs, yet most people don't believe in them.
So I think the point is if you could see your guide, in my case, I saw them since I was 20 months old, right? That's
yeah. Yeah, I know that. That's your story.
Yeah. And what's interesting on this is they didn't appear to me where I had a camera in my hand until I was 44 years old in 1994 when I took this photograph when they showed up at Christmas time. I never had a picture of them before, but I always had this communication and this connection to them throughout my life. And then when they came through and they showed up, and I took their photograph at Christmas time of 1994, when they happened to show up, when I happened to have a camera in my hands, and a couple weeks after, that was film days, it's not like today where you see exactly what you have the minute you do it. And I had to get the film developed. No one in the room saw it when I took the photograph. And I had the film developed, and there it was, And it was a couple weeks after I got that film developed that I had a dream, and I was lucid in the dream. And they came to me, and I said, "Why did you let me take your photograph this time? I mean, since I've seen you since I was a little girl." And they said, "You're going to write a book about your relationship with us since you were a little girl, and we appeared so the world could believe." And that 20 years later, I published Guided, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
She got right on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been talking to my spirits and angel guys when I was a little kid too.
That's why they showed up, though. Otherwise, they're not there to show off. They're there. They showed up because they saw what I was going to be doing, right?
Oh yeah, I see it.
They saw it, and they know what your journey is. Give me her name again.
Jody.
They know what your journey is in this lifetime, Jody, and they are here to guide you that way. They don't have an ego. They don't care about. And one moment they'll look one way, the next moment they look like another thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff. So they don't just always look like what they look like on the front of Guided. They always look different, and sometimes they look the same. So it just depends on what it is that you need and the mission you're on, that they're pointing you in the direction to go. All right.
Gotcha.
In Linda's case, I think it was more important for you when your mother almost knocked you, they beat you unconscious that day, when you woke up and you cried for help and you looked around the room and there was more than a dozen of them. And did they look primarily like
Yes,
that? They looked just like that. Okay.
They look like energy beings. Right.
Like energy, light energy.
Right.
Okay. So there was more than a dozen of them standing there around looking at you. It was more important for you to see them as a child because you had nobody. And then,
well, they knew that.
40 years later, 42 years later, they appeared again. One of them showed up,
right,
and let you take their photograph.
Right. I mean, there's a reason why they do everything. So if you don't see them, it's not important that you don't see them. Are you familiar with My Guided Journey, the 4th book I wrote?
No, I didn't get that one.
Okay.
I'll be getting it then.
It's going to be available on Amazon in the next month. This is the work in progress version that's available as a free download on my website. You can get it there. But the actual completed version with the MP3s and and the replacement pages for the journal writing and everything for the book will be available on Amazon this month. It'll be in the paperback format, of course, because it's a journal. This is the companion journal to Guided, is what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. You may want to wait until it just comes out because it's going to be the completed version on Amazon. It's going to be $10.99.
$10.99.
And it
I don't care about that.
it includes the MP3.
I'm going to get it. Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
And it'll help you, Jody. And we're here every Tuesday as you work through it. If you have questions as you're working through it, you listen to the MP3s as they relate to the pages in part 2. And it's concise, but it's powerful. All right. And it's all about, I've literally had thousands and thousands of the readers of Guided come to me and go, I need to know how to make this connection to my guides. And they literally squeezed this book out of me. They wouldn't stop. So I just.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I know. It is
how it works.
It is how it works. And where do you live, Jody?
I live in Florida now. I moved from Michigan.
From Michigan. Okay.
Because our spirit told me I had to live in Florida, so I made a way out.
Oh.
Were you in that storm?
Yeah, they talking about that big. Oh yeah, it was no big deal. I'm not scared of anything.
It didn't seem like a big deal.
No, not to me. I was outside watching it.
So your journal, My Guided Journey, the journal, will help you track what's going on in your life so you stop missing it. Okay? Right. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. And now, another question for you, Jody, just before we move on. Are you getting Linda's weekly guided insights?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, because that's what we do on Tuesdays as well. We cover that insight. I read the insight on these on Tuesdays, okay?
Oh, okay.
That's our topic for the evening. The insight.
Along with your journal. Whatever's going on in your life, we open it up to that because we want to help you guys, make that connection and get solid with it and get your confidence back. Get the reason back that you came here. Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah, I kind of get the flicker of the lights here and there. I notice that happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You want to write all that in your journal,
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I need to do, start writing the journal.
Yeah, and we're going to let you guys know when it comes out, as soon as it comes out. And it's different than any journal you've ever seen. It's very cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
there's somebody who doesn't have a name that begins with J that's been waiting.
Jody, we loved having you. Please come.
All right, thank you so much. I love being here. Thanks a lot.
We're not done tonight.
Yeah. Bridget, are you in a new apartment?
No, not yet.
Not
Can
yet.
you hear me? Okay.
We can kind of hear you. Turn up your volume a little bit, Bridget.
It's up.
There you go.
Very good.
I'm not in the new apartment. That's for about another 10 days or so.
Oh.
Although I'm experiencing a little doubt around that. You know, a little confusion and stuff. But I've been kind of obsessed this past week, wondering about what my purpose was for coming to this life. Is that?
It's to teach French. Anybody wants to learn how to speak French, you get a hold of Bridget.
No, I don't think that's what. That's one of my interests. I have so many interests that I can't. I cycle through them like in a day. It's like. But anyway, is it within the theme of the evening to ask can my guides tell me
what's going on?
Apparently we decide before we come into this life what what we want to accomplish or what our mission is or what our purpose is,
and what is yours?
Mine.
Right, and here they go. Here they go, Bridget. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to take a look at that. And here they go.
Bridget, your problem is not what you should be doing, since you are capable of doing whatever you want. The problem is you think you don't have enough time to do them all. So we see it as a time management problem, and just do whichever one you want to do first.
Okay, here's what I'm getting for you, and I actually got this for you, I think it was yesterday. I don't remember when it came through, but it wasn't long ago. And what I saw you doing is here's how it came through. You are particular about what you do. You don't want a job just to have a job. You want a job that makes you feel good. You want a job you want to go to every day. You want something that really fits where you're going to be there for 10 years. That's what you want. You want something that you like that much. That's what you want to do. And that's what you've been holding out for. It's not so much that you're scattered or you've got all these things you'd like to do, but you haven't found the one in this world that you want to do that much.
And actually, for a while there, I thought I had, and I'm no longer at that job, and ever since it's like I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's okay, so I haven't found it yet, is what you're saying.
Well, it's not that you haven't found it. It's you may have bumped into it. You may have been thinking about it. You may have some ideas about it. Okay, it's not so far out there that you can't even imagine it. You can imagine it. You know how it feels, Bridget. You know how it feels right here. This is where you need to feel it, right here. And then when you go out and you pursue it, you have to go out with your wandering personality, okay? And you have to go out there and let yourself wander and wonder right into it, right in the head, all right? And when you find it, everything will not be lined up. I will tell you that. There'll be something about it that you will not like. You will not like the pay or something. You won't like the hours right away. There'll be something about it that's not perfect, okay? But you're going to like the position. You're going to like what you're doing. If you just go with that and let these other little incidentals work themselves out and trust your universe, trust your guidance, okay? Take the position and start moving in that direction and focus yourself.
Yep, that's it.
If you find that position, that job situation that feels good to you and the other things don't feel that good, don't worry about it. Take the job. They'll work themselves out. It will rearrange itself for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks.
I saw this the other day. I think it was yesterday. I was just looking out, and like one of those times when you're just kind of spaced out, and that's what came through for me about you. Like I saw it happening. Write down in your journal what I just told you, what just came through, all right? And I want you to, when you go out, I want you to quit being too critical of the situation and just focus on the position. You like the job, you like what this is, what you'd be doing, go with that, and everything else will rearrange itself to make the rest of it work in your behalf, all right?
Hello, Veronica.
Veronica, where is she?
Right here.
Hey.
Okay.
Turn your mic up.
Okay.
There you go.
Is this fun, you guys?
This is starting to look like the Brady Bunch.
This does. Do you guys see everybody, right?
It kind of changes who I can see. But I can see you guys.
Oh, good. Oh, good,
It
Veronica.
looks like the Brady Bunch from our end here.
All right.
So what's on Veronica's mind? Did you like today's theme?
Yeah, today's theme brings up for me the Cinderella complex.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that thing, and a book was written about it, and a lot of girls, you know, took on this angle of that story that they'll be rescued by Prince Charming.
Right.
So, yeah. And I've been becoming free of that, and I'd love to be totally free of it. And I think a lot of women would. Like, I think the issue is, how do we love ourselves enough so that we're not waiting to be rescued by Prince Charming?
Right. That's a good question. And do we want to, is that the question that we have for your guides? Is that the question you want to ask about your life as it relates to that topic?
Yes.
Right. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Veronica, and they're going to answer that. And here they go.
Telling someone to just love themselves more is futile. It's like telling someone you should speak better. It's difficult to distinguish the different types of love available. You can tell yourself that you love yourself. Someone else can tell you they love you. You can tell others you love them. But the true test of love is, do you feel loved when someone says, I love you?
So how does this tie into Veronica's life in terms of not waiting for a Prince Charming to come along, that kind of delusional, concept, but what do you see in her life as a love relationship that's a healthy one?
It's all about attraction of energy. As you begin to love yourself more, you are accepting of yourself more as you are, not as you think you would want to be. It's always a fact that you can't attract anything to you that's vibrating at a different level. If you meet up with someone that has lower energy, you will not ever be challenged if you meet up with someone vibrating much higher than you. You may entertain thoughts of inferiority. It's when you attract someone to you who is vibrating at your frequency that you really can't explain why the two of you get along so well.
Mm-hmm. That's what you need to get comfortable with, is getting so comfortable. I don't mean sloppy comfortable. I mean really comfortable with yourself, where you really are having a great time. If you're doing the things that you love and you can't wait to wake up the next day to do some more of that, okay? And that's the life you're living, and you've got one thing piled on top of the other. You're just loving what you're doing. You've made these connections. You like what you're doing. You like the like-minded people around you. And I'm not talking about 50 of them, because that's probably not going to happen. I'm talking about 3, maybe 2, maybe 1. I mean, it starts wherever it starts. But you make that connection, that it's a powerful connection. You guys see eye to eye. And you make that connection. That's the one you're looking for. It could be a man, a woman. It could be just a friend. And whatever you do, approach it as a friendship. Don't worry about these other, love relationships. Love relationships are complicated. They're filled with karma, really. I mean, there's a lot going on there that you have to learn, all right, about yourself. You're asking a lot when you get involved in something like that. So just be good with having friends. And if you feel a connection to that person, resist jumping right into that and just let it be a friendship. Let yourself get to know each other as people, as in reality, without having to, the minute the romance kicks in, you start dancing a different tune. You're not really letting yourself be seen. You're on guard. It's karmic. You know that you've got lessons to learn here. So you're kind of shoring up your bet. You're being a little conservative. Or if you're friends with somebody, you can tell your friends pretty much anything if they're really friends. So I would go after that friend thing. Those people that you have that common ground with, that you like to do those things with, and you have that connection with.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're looking for a partner to use your talking board, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a great start. I got to say that when this was first, December of 1988, when the talking board concept was originally, I was exposed to it. And in that first session, they came through, and the first thing they wanted me to create a talking board that didn't cause fear and caution, which brought this one about, all right? Mm-hmm. Through my dreams, this came about. And I just followed instructions. I didn't have any idea, but I had this technical skills, being an architect. I could draw it and everything, right? Mm-hmm. In any event, I had partners that I would do this with. Veronica, it was the most tender and loving experience with these people. Mm-hmm. When Ray and I first met, it was, and I taught him, he wanted to learn how to use this. And I taught him how to use it. It just, how can I say this? It opens the heart of the people that are using it, that they come from the right place. You can't hide, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's a great thing. And how could you ask for more from another person?
Right.
You don't have to hide,
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking for in a partner when you're looking for a partner to use this with.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So, and now with technology, you can do it, over Skype or over Zoom or things
Well,
like that. Or you can find somebody, you're in what, Bend, Oregon?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay.
I would recommend that you find someone you can do it with like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
in person?
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
would recommend.
So start taking your board to the local coffee shop and sit there and play with it until somebody comes and says, "What are you doing?"
Sounds good.
You got to. People are just. It's disappointing that most people are just asleep,
Yeah.
We all.
and it makes you feel alone in the world when you know that. But more and more people are waking up.
Mhm.
And we're getting people that want us to come to their towns and teach them how to do this. We have to have like at least, I think we figured we need at least 15 to 20 people in a classroom to make sense of the trip there and back,
Mm-hmm.
to do this. But on those weekend 2-day workshops that we do,
Mm-hmm.
you walk away not only knowing how to do this, really powered up and your energy's shifted, but you've got channeling partners to work with.
Cool.
That have the same desire that you have. So, as this comes about. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Good stuff.
Veronica.
All
Thank
right.
All right, Ray.
What's going on next week?
Next week. So let's see what we've got here, you guys. Did we have fun with this or what, you
Isn't this
guys?
fun?
I know.
Yes.
I still see Jody there. There she is.
Jody hasn't fallen
She's
asleep
gorgeous. I love her. Okay. Let's see what we have here, Ray. All right. So before the guides close this session with their closing message, we're going to talk about next week. So June 5th, next week on Tuesday, you can watch or interact with us on Zoom like you did today. And in Linda's Weekly Guided Insight, you will receive the link to join us. And you can also get the link on my Facebook page, Linda Deir Author. It will have the link there right above the video to talk to your guides, to us, and to the group, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. The guides will be talking about doubt knocks out intuition. This will be published next Tuesday morning in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. Doubt knocks out intuition. It's like the chicken and the egg. When you look at fear, it's fueled by the media, the people around you, and some from yourself. Fear is more externally triggered than doubt. Doubt is triggered internally by your thoughts. The thoughts you have are based on the beliefs that you carry. So next week,
That's pretty deep.
I know. Well, the thing they talked about with the doubts is something you can't get away from because you carry it within you. The fear many times happens around you in your environment, and you can always just get out of that environment to get away from the influence of fear. So fear is actually easier to handle, but then it gets tricky because doubt, if you live in all this doubt all the time, pretty soon it starts to become fear. And then there you are in the fear. It's no longer outside of you, it's inside of you, dancing around in this doubt. So it gets a hold of you. It's a progression is what it becomes. So that's what you want to, when you see doubt creep in, what you want to do is tell on it, report it, deposit it, take it out of here and put it in here in part 3 in the journal writing, and tell about what's going on with this doubt in you so that you can see it and it's no longer dominating you here. All right. So it doesn't have the opportunity to turn into fear. My guided journey. This is where this is another reason why this is there for you guys. It's a place where you deposit the things that you want to resolve within yourself. And when you write it in here, you physically removed it. Okay. And now you can actually look at it. and do something about it.
No, you're not carrying it with you anymore.
Right. It's not.
This is unlike any, it's called a journal, but it's not a journal. A journal, people say journal, and they go, oh, it's just a book with empty pages and lines. No, this is a complete guided journal writing system. It has 3 parts to it. It has the free MP3s. It has the 18 hours of video.
It has us on Tuesdays.
It has us on Tuesdays.
Right.
What more could you ask
to
for?
help you guys really connect with this part of yourself and resolve it and solve it and heal it. All right? Once we do that, all the other things fall into place. Loving yourself is a byproduct of getting this together. You don't have to go out and love yourself. It becomes a byproduct. Finding somebody who loves you, you don't go out and chase it. You can't find it. It finds you.
They show up.
Yeah. And it could be that little kitten that showed up. That could be your first.
And brought all their friends. Like they used to do at my house.
That's what they did with Ray.
I've had almost 150 cats in my lifetime. Yeah, I got one from a pound.
Right.
And the rest of them showed up and brought their friends.
Ray's great. He's got the most bleeding heart you ever did see.
Plus I had dogs. I rescued greyhounds. So now you have dogs that run 40 miles an hour around your house chasing cats. That's what you need.
Oh, man. This was before I met him, okay?
No.
Could you imagine living in this? Okay, so you guys, please share these videos. As soon as we post them, we appreciate it when you do that. Share it with your friends, on your Facebook page or wherever, And, from now on, anybody who wants to join us does not have to have a Facebook account to do this. We've got many people that said, oh, we would love to join you, but we don't want to be on Facebook, okay? So now it's independent of Facebook. Isn't that great? Or any social media site. So anybody can join it. They don't have to be in some social media site to do that. So the guides are going to close this session about what do you, Meghan Markle and Cinderella, have in common. And here they go.
Cinderella, Meghan Markle, Linda Deir, and you have more in common than you think. The main thing they all had in common is that they didn't absorb their horrific beginnings and allow them to become their life and dash their hopes. What is it that you are absorbing that is playing with your life? What you need is the power of intentional asking in order to get yourself out of any negative situation.
Intentional asking.
Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo.
That's the song for Cinderella, you guys.
Well, they don't know that song.
They don't necessarily remember it, Ray.
I do.
How does it go?
Well, I used to be able to sing all the funny words that she says, the fairy godmother, but
Yeah.
I just remembered bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Well, that's pretty good.
Put it together, and what do you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Well, that is awesome. I couldn't have done that.
Plus, I can remember. She's amazing. I can remember every commercial from the 1950s growing up. From all these products that are not even around anymore. I can still remember the commercials, the jingles.
I know. It's tormenting.
Scary, isn't it?
It really